Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is Kevin with Everglades Canine Academy, and today I am working with Leo, the Sheepadoodle. I have not yet worked with the Sheepadoodle, so I'm really excited to show you guys his 2-week board and train. He'll be with me. I'll be making videos along the way and keeping you updated with his progress. Um, Leo is a dog from a first-time dog owner, and they contacted me because he is really struggling on the leash. There are some things he's getting away with in the house, jumping up, not respecting boundaries, and whatnot. So the owner contacted me, and we kind of decided on doing a board and train with Leo, and we'll see if we can get a look at him. He's a big boy, absolutely beautiful sheepadoodle. So if you guys have ever seen a sheepadoodle, or if if you own a sheepadoodle, leave a comment. Let me know. Let me know if they have any funny quirks, or if there was anything you noticed that was different. I have trained a multitude of like golden doodles, labradoodles, um, all sorts of doodle mixes at this point, Bernedoodles and whatnot, but never a sheepadoodle. So we're really excited for this one. And he is quite rambunctious. This was one of the things the owners was talking about. Look at how he likes to chew on the leash. All right. So I was going to do a little bit less of a lesson for his introductory video, but look at him. I think what I'm going to do right away is I'm going to get into doing just trying to get him to walk loose on the leash, because I kind of need him to do that because we do walk every day. And like, look at him, right? He's completely not out of control, but he's such a puppy. But at the same time, he's a big dog, and he wants to fight the leash, and even bite my hand. Okay, so the very first lesson, honestly, I'm gonna do with him is I'm gonna just start getting him into a sit with pressure from the leash, because this is like a behavior that makes it really difficult to communicate with the dog and walk with the dog. So as he's fighting, I'm just gonna start getting him into a sit. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna pull up until he sits. Okay, then I'm gonna relieve pressure. And if he's biting, good. If he's biting, I'm gonna kind of continue to do that. Here we go. Good. All right, so we just need him to calm down a little bit. I definitely don't want him to play back, or I definitely don't want to play back with the leash. I don't want to pull and tug. And I also have his dinner. Like I said, you guys have seen a lot of my videos at this point. Sit. And you've seen a lot of my videos at this point. You know I'm always training with food. Okay. There we go. So let's see if we can redirect him a little bit with some food. There we go. There's a little bit of food right there. Good. And what we're going to do, let's see what he knows. They say he knows sit. So if he jumps on me, I'm definitely going to bounce him off my knee a little bit. I don't want him jumping up. Hi, my neighbors are here. So I don't want him jumping up on me at all. I don't want him invading my personal space. He needs to learn how to respect boundaries a little bit. All right. So let's see if we can just start working him into a sit. Okay. So the first thing that I'm going to do, and this is a leash pressure exercise. So basically it doesn't require any commands, right? And if you've noticed, there we go. Good. If he gets into a regular sit, I might just reward him. But using leash pressure, you don't need any commands with it. Basically, his job is to turn the pressure off, right? So turning the pressure off means I'm going to put pressure on him in an upward position with the leash. And then once he sits, I'm going to relieve that pressure. Okay. So let's go. He's being pretty rambunctious. Here we go. Sit. Good. I'm going to start introducing marker training with him. Right. So when he sits, and I want him to also look at me with eye contact. But when he sits, I'm going to go ahead and mark it with yes. All right. I'm going to start loading this marker with him. Right. Marker training is how we communicate with our dogs. And I'll kind of start going into explanation of that. Sit. There we go. Good. Let's see if I can just mark yes and have him be rewarded. All right. Yeah, we got a car driving by. Let's see what he does with the car. So I don't know if he chases cars at this point. I do know he gets a little freaked out from people. Good boy. Let's go ahead and reward him. Another thing that he doesn't really want to do is he doesn't really want to give a lot of eye contact. So leash pressure up. And he sits. Good boy. Let's get into yes. Good. Yes. There we go. So I'm saying yes, this is going to be his marker reward, and I'm going to load it. I'm not going to expect him to do any commands. Yes. I just want him to hear yes and get rewarded at this point. We're going to start bridging that with different commands. All right. And then what my goal today is to do a little bit of loose leash walking with him. Let's see if we can do this this sit. There we go. Good. So he doesn't really know any corrections yet. And I'm going to start teaching him corrections through the place command. Yes. There we go. All right. So, you know, I apologize if this video is kind of all over the place with some of the things that I'm talking about. The things that we're going to start establishing all at once, because dog training isn't just like one thing, right? We're doing a bunch of things at the same time. I mean, a couple things just to recap is we're talking about marker training, right? You're hearing me say this word, yes, right? That's his reward marker, okay? So it's not a command, it's a marker. I'm trying to mark his good behavior at the time, and he doesn't know what it is yet because we haven't done any marker training with him. He's very green. But the beginning phases of marker training is you just want to use your marker. Some people use a clicker. Some people say break. Some people say free. Some people say yes, right? I've just kind of leaned into yes. So we're just going to say yes, and then we're going to reward him. Even if he's not looking, I'm going to see what he does. And I'm going to use the leash to help guide him to the reward. Yes. There we go. Good. He just burped so loud. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. All right. So we're kind of loading his marker. We're also teaching him a little bit of leash pressure and leash manners. All right. So leash pressure, the very first thing that I do is the sit. I hold up on the leash, putting pressure on him. Once he sits, I relax the leash, and then I'll leave a mark. Yes. There we go. Good boy. All right. So loading his marker, using leash pressure. Whoop, pressure straight up. Good. Once he sits, we relieve it. Very good. And let's mark. Yes. He doesn't know his marker, but he will once we start working on it more. All right. So he was so rambunctious on the leash. You know, I kind of wanted to come out the gate with his videos with just doing a lot of leash work. This is something that I'm going to be doing every day with him. You know, I walk my dogs multiple times a day, and it's just so important that they start understanding leash manners right away, not only to make the walk more enjoyable for me, but also for my clients, right? You can see he wants to just pull me. And let's talk about that a little bit. As I was talking to his clients, and as I talk to like multiple clients and watch what they do, 90% of the time, dogs pulling issues come from the handler or the owner, whoever's walking the dog, allows the dog to pull them to where the dog wants to go. So let's talk hypothetically real quick. Let's say Leo wants to go mark on a tree over there, right? A lot of owners are like, oh, he's really got to go to the bathroom. So they just start walking with the dog while there's tension on the leash, right? They might walk to that tree, and then the dog, he's pulling all the way to the tree. Then he gets to the tree and the dog eliminates right there on the tree. And what has the dog just learned? Bam. All I need to do is pull my owner to get where I want. And That's how I turn the pressure off, is I have to pull. But what we're going to do is we're not going to allow him to pull at all. So basically, at the end of your driveway or whatever, just start doing directional changes until you start to see the dog walk with you. And there's a certain way to do it. See how he just wants to pull me wherever he wants to go? Now, most owners are just walking their dog like this, and they're allowing their dog to pull them like this, right? He's getting to where he wants to go. He wants to sniff like this little crack in the sidewalk or this bush right here. He just pulled me there. I went there, and now he's chewing the grass. That's what he wanted to do. So he just learned, oh, all I need to do is just pull this guy, and I'll get to where I want to go. All right, but that all changes today. Okay, so every time I walk a dog, I don't allow them to pull me. So we're going to be doing, basically, I'm going to start walking in one direction. He's going to come with me. He has no choice. He's on the leash, right? And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to randomly stop after a couple steps, and I'm going to turn the other direction. And if he doesn't turn with me, I'm just going to give a little pop on the leash. And when he does turn with me, I might reward him, all right? So we're going to walk, even if he's not pulling, right? I might stop, okay? Let's turn. Let's just start doing some random directional changes. Okay, now here we stop. There we go. You see that? Perfect. That's what I want. All right. Good boy. And already, nope, I don't want him to go on the grass. There we go. Once he starts trotting well ahead of me, I don't like him behind me either. So I might even like kick him out of my way a little bit if he's behind me. Because I don't really like dogs walking directly behind me. Okay? I want him to walk to the side of me. Let's load the marker. Yes. There we go. Good boy. Oop, pay attention. We stop and we pop and we go the other way. Good boy. And I'm going to reward him for turning and looking at me. Noses to the ground. We got to get him to start looking up a little bit. Right? What we really need is we need to get some eye contact with him. Oh. Nope. Oh. There we go. Good. Let's go. He's actually not really walking that bad right now. There we go. He's done fighting the leash for a minute. He's still trying to bite it. Let's turn. I need him to start noticing me. So once I start seeing him drift, I might do like half leash a little bit. That way we kind of get a little bit better of the walk. Yeah. Good. There we go. All right. He's walking at my pace now a little bit, which is nice. Let's turn on him. He's starting to forget that I'm there. All right. Good. And when we turn, we don't wait. We don't wait for him. All right. There we go. Just a little pop. Good boy. Good. Now he's looking at me a little bit. Turn again. Little pop. All right. Now, dog owners that are really struggling with walking, this is what you should be doing in your front yard before you start advancing around your neighborhood. All right. There we go. Let's work on a little bit of sit. We have some construction going on across the street. And he gets a little skittish. I don't really like him leaning up against me. All right, good. He's fighting the leash a little bit. This is okay. So if your dog starts fighting the leash while you're doing pressure exercises, you want to maintain pressure. You don't want him to wiggle out of the pressure and relax. Good boy. You want to win these pressure battles when they start staging and they stop fighting the pressure. If I were to relieve the pressure before he sits, he would realize that all he needs to do is wiggle and fight out of the pressure. Okay. Yep. Now notice I'm not saying the command. I'm just using pressure. There we go. Good. Good. I just want him to start learning the differences in pressure on the leash. He is so wild on the leash, like many other doodles that I've trained. But he is so wild on the leash that we just need to get a little bit of leash obedience. We could do this without giving any commands at all. That's why I love working with pressure. I love working with leash pressure because I can do this without giving any commands. All right. And in reality, when we're training a new dog, a lot of it is so nonverbal. And I challenge everybody out there, start training your dog nonverbal for a long time before you add in those verbal cues. Right? We're doing hand signals, gestures, we're luring the dog, showing the dog through luring what we want. There we go. So, and we do want to be diligent with what we're asking the dog. So sitting down does not mean lay down, right? I just want him to sit. So, we're using pressure and we're using leash pressure and spatial pressure. Okay. All right. Let's do just a couple more back and forth. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of an update with the leash walking. I'm going to start doing different videos, but we'll come back to the leash walking as well so you can kind of see some of the progress that we're doing. All right. We're going to kind of continue walking up and down the street. I'm going to finish this session with him. But to keep tuning in to the beautiful Leopold, the Sheepadoodle, for more training videos on him and more, training tips and techniques that we do. And if you guys have any questions or comments, feel free to just message me or leave comments. I try to be diligent with answering them when I can. But thanks for tuning in, and we will see you on the next video with Leo, the Sheepadoodle. All right, let's go. Yes.